Yeah, it's John Grube on mantraining.com. You know, I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and I really, my whole world's been around blue collar workers for the most part. And I do have to go around white collar workers. And I can tell you there's a big difference between the two. I'm 5'7", about 165 pounds. And when I go into these white collar places, these men, this is no bullshit. These men steer clear of me. Now, I've been going in there for 10 years. A couple of the guys talk and, I get along with. But some of the fucking other guys are afraid to actually come over and ask me a question. They're actually afraid. They send other people over. That's no lie. And you got guys. See, the term alpha male and beta male, being in a blue collar environment and being 54 years old, that wasn't something that was ever thought of. No one ever talked about he's an alpha or he's a beta. No one ever talked like that. Because in the blue collar environment, when you're around a group of men and you work blue collar, you soon find out where you stand in the hierarchy of men. It's just the way it is. And the men that are talking to alpha beta are guys who are not usually spending a lot of time around groups of men on a daily basis their entire lives. I'm talking from fucking for 8 to 12 hours a day. When you get in a group of men occasionally, a couple times a year, and then you talk about alpha, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They really don't. When you stand, like I said, when you're working with people 8 to 12 hours a day in the fucking cold and the fucking heat, and you're fucking struggling and you're fucking sweating and the fucking tempers flare, you know where the fuck you stand, okay? And it's almost like, when you talk about testosterone, low testosterone, we have it now. If you are not a kind of guy that will stand up to confrontation, you probably got low testosterone. Okay? People will talk, oh, well, if you're aggressive, that means you have low testosterone. That's absolutely bullshit. Because that makes no sense. Because if that made any sense, people that went on what they call roid rages would be less aggressive. Inject more fucking testosterone, steroids, would mean they would get less aggressive. But it's not the case. They have that thing called roid rage. So that's just another bullshit thing by men who want to validate their fucking weakness. Okay? Getting back to the alpha beta, these men, most of the guys that talk like this don't have women. Or they've had women, or they just started learning how to get women. And I'm talking men in their 20s and 30s, which is pretty, and even 40s, it's pretty fucking pathetic. And it's almost like when a man is not in charge of his home. If a man is not in charge of his home, he cannot be considered much of any kind of a man. Because if he's not in charge at home, he's not going to do real well in an environment of a blue-collar worker, most times. Not all blue-collar workers are good guys. Not all blue-collar workers are, strong men. A lot of blue-collar workers come and go. They find out they can't do it. They don't want to do it. It's too tough for them. Men break their balls too much. Too much fucking testosterone fucking flowing. Because, in the blue-collar environment, man, there was always confrontations. There was always feats of strength. There was fucking, we would have fucking tackle football games after work. We'd close up the dock on a Friday night and play fucking street hockey on the fucking dock. Brutal street hockey. Wrestling matches in trailers. I mean, this was a regular occurrence in this environment. There was fistfights across the street. Fistfights in a trailer. It just happened on a regular basis. So you had to know where you stood. Okay? If you were fucked with, well, you were down here. If you weren't fucked with, well, you knew where you stood. Most of the people out there that are on these fucking YouTube channels that are fucking pushing this masculinity and they're pushing this alpha male bullshit, don't listen to them fucking guys. You want to know where you stand with fucking men and where you stand in the hierarchy of men? Get out in an environment where you're surrounded with men on a regular basis that are either combat, sports, blue collar. You're not going to find it in a way. I mean, you could probably be a white collar, what they consider alpha in a white collar environment, which wouldn't take much. It'd be just a guy that actually maybe takes care of himself a little bit and fucking carries himself a little bit better and isn't afraid of confrontation. But most of these people in these white collar environments are afraid of confrontation, and it's probably because they've been sitting on their ass a lot of times. And people will say, well, white collar workers live longer than blue collar workers. Yeah, that may be the case, and they probably do take care of themselves. They probably drink less, they probably smoke less. But you know what? I'm in an environment, I see it all the fucking time, where these guys can't wait to get a smoke break. These guys can't wait to get their fucking soda out of their fucking vending machine. I see this on a regular fucking basis on all these white collar environments. And it's not, like I said, it's not about white collar, blue collar. I'm just talking about the people that push the alpha, beta bullshit. Or even that new word, simp. You know, the people that use those words are those people, okay? These are the people that are upset, pissed off that they aren't good with women. And it's because they're weak, okay? For whatever reason. I don't know the reason why they are. They just are. Okay, they weren't, maybe didn't have enough adversity growing up. They didn't have to fucking be tough, and that's the problem. And like I said about even like this police today, these cowardly police that didn't go in on this in this Texas elementary school. These cops, most of them probably grew up in the 12th place trophy fucking category where, you know, they didn't have to fucking be tough. They didn't have to. They don't count. All they worry about is themselves, okay? Like I said, man, you put that fucking badge on and you put your life on the line, and that's the way you fucking do it. Or don't put that fucking badge on. These guys are cowards. And most men today are cowards. But when you talk about alpha and beta, man, you need to know where you stand with men. You don't need to know where you stand and how many subscribers you can get, because they don't know who the fuck you really are. They hear you on the YouTube. They don't know how you really live your life. You don't know how you were when you were growing up. Okay? They just listen and they take for what they say for granted, and they have no idea. But you can't be a fucking what they consider alpha behind a computer all day and never spending any time around fucking men. Texting them other men, emailing other men, that does not put you in, you know, where you know, like I said, when you're in a confrontational mode all the time, when you're around guys all your life, all day long, all night long, whatever, in hot and cold environment where fucking you're tired and, you know, and you just get aggravated at one another and then a fight breaks out or something goes on. But see, that never happens behind a computer, so you don't know where you fucking stand. You can only think you know where you stand. So stop listening to people out there that are pushing the white collar, pushing the alpha and the beta and the simps. They don't fucking have a clue, okay? Don't listen to these guys. Fucking look to fucking men who are older, who aren't pushing the bullshit, that, you know, actually either are married still, had relationships with many women, that, you know, got their shit square together. People that are strong, ain't afraid of confrontation, people that keep themselves in shape, people that are in charge of their fucking home. You know, find men. The older men are usually the ones you're going to find, you know, what you really fucking, if you really want to know the difference between masculinity and fucking weak men later.